Greetings everyone and welcome to another episode of Anime Recap. Today we will be going through the supernatural action anime series, Undefeated Bahamut Chronicle. This story focuses on Lux Arcadia, an innocent prince who is living in a new kingdom that arose from the one that he used to be the prince of. He soon encounters Lyshardt Atismata, a tsundere who reveals herself as the princess of the new kingdom, and finds out that he himself will be enrolling in the same academy as her. On the other hand, there are also the ongoing battle among the Dragknights, Abyss, and Dragons, and Lux's relationships with the girls of his academy. Before this video start, for those who wish to support me and my work, there will be a link in the description for my Ko-Fi page and you can donate as less as $3 to watch exclusive content, as well as request shows that you wish me to cover. With that said, I hope you enjoy this video, and let's jump straight into the recap. 5 years ago, the Arcadia Empire is overthrown in a coup d'état when a lone warrior, using a black drag ride, destroyed 1,200 of the Empire's drag riders and became known as the Black Hero. In the present, Lux Arcadia, ex-prince of the Empire now working as a handyman, falls through the roof of the Royal Knights Academy bathroom onto Princess Lyshardt Atismata of the Atismatan Kingdom and sees a brand on her stomach. This causes her to challenge him to a duel despite Lux being undefeated in battle. Later, Lux meets his sister, ex-princess Arcadia, who demands he win the duel. As former royalty they have to pay a massive fine to the current royal family, and if Lux goes to prison, Ari will have to pay the fine herself. During the duel Lux's white sword and white drag ride are damaged. He insists on continuing with his broken sword, refusing to use his black one. A cloaked person uses a horn whistle to summon an abyss dragon. Lux allows himself to be injured, giving Lisha the time to destroy the abyss. As a result, Lisha falls in love with Lux and she asks him to keep her brand a secret, as it is the crest of the former Arcadia Empire, and soon after, Lux is made an official academy student. Sometime later, Lux meets his childhood friend Philippi Ingram, the headmistress's sister, making Lisha jealous. When the female students learn Lux is a handyman they swamp him with requests, including Krulsifer Folk who wants him to find the Black Hero. Lux later wakes up to Phi in his bed, claiming she is his roommate. Lisha repairs Lux's broken white sword before explaining that as her father had been leader of the coup d'état, she was kidnapped and branded as proof she was the Empire's property. When the Black Hero won the war, Lisha replaced her dead father as Princess of Atismata and her brand was kept secret. Soon after, an abyss appears and Lisha takes a team to kill it. The abyss is being controlled with the horn whistle by Ragreed Forrest, a former knight still loyal to the Arcadia Empire. He overwhelms Lisha and reminds her, he was the one who branded her. Lux arrives and unsheathes his black sword, transforming into a black drag ride, revealing himself as the Black Hero. He easily destroys the abyss and kills Ragreed with his ability Reload on Fire. Ari laments her brother is not a hero, he is the weakest undefeated who betrayed his own empire. Lisha agrees to keep his identity as the Black Hero a secret and Relay sets up a game where the girl who steals a red request paper from Lux within 1 hour will get him as her servant for a week. Lux is caught by Lisha but he escapes. He is then captured by Phi but also tricks her into letting him go. With only 10 minutes left he is trapped in a changing room when several girls including Krulsifer enter and strip. He is spotted by Krulsifer who lets him remain hidden. Claiming the game is over she asks to see the red paper and he hands it over just as the bell sounds, signaling the real end of the game with Krulsifer the winner. Relay believes the horn whistle used by Ragreed is the key to a secret in the ancient ruins and asks Lux to go there. Ari warns Lux to be careful with Krulsifer as she is a noble of the Emer theocracy and is expected to marry another noble. Wanting to avoid this, she asks Lux to pose as her boyfriend, making Lisha jealous. Krulsifer and Lux are attacked by thieves during their date and she uses her ability to see into the future, and defeats them. They then the arrogant Lord Kreutzer Balzeride, Krulsifer's fiancé, and she claims Lux is her boyfriend. Outraged Krulsifer would choose an ex-prince over himself. Kreutzer challenges Lux to a duel in 3 days. Kreutzer discusses the ancient ruins with a hooded man. Lux is exhausted from his handyman job, so Tilfur Lilimit, a friend of Lisha, drags him to her room where she, Lisha and Phi help him relax. The 4 noble families discuss the Ragnaroks, immensely powerful abyss dragons imprisoned beneath ancient ruin across the country. One such Ragnarok may soon escape and the kingdom does not have the military power to stop it. Kreutzer is tasked with entering the ruins to find powerful weapons. R'lyeh gathers Lux and his friends to investigate the ruins. As the horn whistle is the key to entering, she gives it to Lux. Krulsifer goes with them, though she admits she has her own reasons. Phi gets into the bath with a flustered Lux who notices an old scar on her back has disappeared. At the ruins, the team is attacked by a Diablos-level abyss. The abyss almost breaks Lux's white sword before Krulsifer shoots it. Kreutzer announces that if Lux defeats the abyss before he does, he will call off their duel. Krulsifer shoots at the abyss but has lost her ability to see the future. Kreutzer succeeds in killing the abyss first. Lux and Krulsifer head for the altar at the center of the ruins. Krulsifer believes that the Black Hero is capable of piloting his drag ride indefinitely, whereas most people would eventually run out of power. She hopes to find that the Black Hero is the same as she is. They arrive at the altar, but before Lux can unlock it with the whistle, it unlocks automatically for Krulsifer, who reveals she is really a surviving citizen of the ancient ruins. Lux and Krulsifer become trapped by rubble. Krulsifer explains she was found as a baby by the Earl of the Emer Theocracy, who thought she might be valuable. Krulsifer worked hard to become a drag knight, making her adopted siblings jealous. She came to the ruins to prove she was human, but now accepts she is not. Lux reveals his mother and sister were banished from the royal family, and when Lux's mother was injured, the citizens who suffered under the Empire let her die. Lisha appears and free them. Lux hides the truth about Krulsifer, claiming the horn whistle is not a key to the lower levels. Krulsifer has Eri drug Lux and attends the duel in his place. Krulsifer loses her future seeing ability and is defeated. Kreutzer admits he knows Krulsifer is a citizen of the ruins and plans on using her to access and use the advanced technology to destroy the Ragnaroks, reasoning that sacrificing Krulsifer is a small price to pay. Lux attacks Kreutzer, revealing his Black Hero form to Krulsifer. When Kreutzer uses Krulsifer's future-seeing ability, Lux realizes Kreutzer's ability allows him to steal the abilities of others. Kreutzer attempts to shoot Krulsifer as a plot to steal Lux's super speed, but on seeing Krulsifer cry, Lux states it is his duty to protect his girlfriend and activates a secret ability he designed himself, Recoil Burst, that focuses all his energy into a single attack, defeating Kreutzer. Afterwards, Lux is told that by defeating her previous fiancé, he is Krulsifer's new fiancé. Krulsifer admits Lux managed to impress her and kisses him twice in front of a furious Lisha. Lux is asked to investigate rumors about a suspicious person lurking around the campus. To this end, he is forced to cross-dress to avoid suspicion. During his rounds, he sees a girl talking to a cat just as he is assaulted by the suspicious prowler. He is saved by the girl, who introduces herself as Celestia Celis Ralgris, a daughter of a high-ranking noble, strongest third-year student of the academy and a known man-hater, so Lux claims he is a girl called Luno. Meanwhile, Kreutzer is murdered in prison by his hooded partner. Later, Lux, as himself, meets Seals, who insists he leave the academy. However, the knowledge of Ragnarok's revival makes Lux oppose her, as he believes she cannot defeat it on her own. R'lyeh arranges a formal match in which if Lux wins, he may stay, but if he loses, he must leave. The next day, the members of the Chivalric Order, led by Celis, travels to Rise Island for a training camp where Lux notices a large building at the top of a mountain. Later that night, Lux is called for a massage request only to learn that the client is Seals, and he quickly cross-dresses into Luno before he is seen. Seals invites him to tour the town the next day, where she goes shopping for a swimsuit. While resting in the shade outside town, Seals reveals that she, in fact, does not hate men. It was just a misunderstanding that has never been resolved. Soldiers locate the fossilized Ragnarok only to find that the husk is empty. Lux recalls what he and Celis talked about yesterday, where she also reveals that she was trained by Lux's maternal grandfather, who had died in prison because he spoke out against the Empire's corruption, and she only wants Lux out of the school to protect him. Later, Lux and Celestia's battle finally begins, with the latter holding the advantage. As the match goes on, the Triad locate the suspicious prowler from the Academy to be Sonia, who is actually a spy for the Heiberg Republic and has been stealing information from the Academy. Sonia admits that her mission is to topple the kingdom just as the revived Ragnarok appears, interrupting Lux and Seal's battle. Celestia appears to defeat it on her own until Kreutzer's mysterious partner appears and revives it using a flute, and Sonia attacks Celestia, who is shocked at the betrayal. Defeated, Celis tells Lux everything, but he reveals that he already knows when he exposes himself as Luno. Equipping Bahamut, Lux attacks and quickly defeats the Ragnarok, but its core is saved by Sonia. The hooded figure introduces herself as Hayes of the Heiberg Republic, who bears a resemblance to Lux and Eri. She hints to Lux that he had forgotten a tragic incident on the island 5 years ago, and the two flee. Later that night, Celis expresses her anger at being deceived by Lux, but she eventually forgives him and allows him to stay at the Academy. Lux later tries to remember what took place on the island 5 years ago, and he sees flashes of the large building and a room with young girls on a bed while covered in blood. As he tries to remember more, his head begins to hurt and an earthquake suddenly hits as new ruins appears out from the sea. A flashback of Philippi and Lux when they were kids is seen. When Lux visits her room, she says that she is going to participate in the ruin investigation, but he expresses his worry over her health, though she assures him that she is fine. As the investigation begins, Lux and the girls travel inside the ruins and are surprised to find a destroyed ecosystem, and suggests that a war took place based on the destruction. Lux group discover a young girl covered in rubble and call Krulsifer to check on the girl, who awakens at her touch. Krulsifer sees that she is not human, and the girl introduces herself as La Crush, the supervisor of the ruins, and she refers to Krulsifer as administrator. La Crush explains that she had lost most of memories and data due to her long slumber. Meanwhile, the Queen of Atismata and the 4 great nobles meet and plot to attack the kingdom. However, the army lacks manpower, so one of the nobles suggests using the students of the Academy to make up for this, but Seal's father opposes the idea. The noble also notes that Lux is the only one who could defeat the Ragnarok, while admitting his plan to having the former prince work for them in the near future. Back in the ruins, Lux is carrying a tired Phi as they enter a room where the Abyss were being created, and Phi suddenly experiences a headache and warns them of incoming danger as an Abyss appears and attacks them. They leave the ruins and confront the remaining Abyss, but Phi is thrown into the old building on the mountain, and Lux starts to remember more about the past. He enters the building and remembers that it was once used as a place for human experimentation by the old Empire, and Phi was one of the victims before he manages to find, only to be attacked by her as she smiles maniacally and her eyes emit an inhuman glow. A brief flashback sees a young Phi and Lux saying their goodbyes as they separate. In the present, Phi strangles Lux but suddenly passes out and Hayes appears beside them. Back in the ruins, Lisha and Krulsifer defeat the remaining Abyss, and Eri tells them that they had discovered the entrance to the deepest parts of the ruins, but they lack a key to enter. Meanwhile, Lux confronts Hayes, but she warns him that if she dies, Phi dies too. And explains that she planted a seed of Ragnarok inside Phi, causing her to turn into an Abyss as her body is being eaten from the inside. She then offers Lux a deal in which she will command the Ragnarok to save Phi, but in exchange, Lux must open the entrance to the deepest part of the ruins using Krulsifer as the key, and is given 2 days to accomplish this. Later, Lux meets with Rely, who reveals that Phi supposedly died due to the inhumane experiments conducted on her 5 years ago, but she awoke stronger than before at a terrible price. The next day, Lux reminisces about his past again while his Bahamut undergoes maintenance. To his and Aries' shock, they are suddenly contacted by their Fugel, who explains that the only way to save Phi is to destroy the Ragnarok controlling her and Hayes' horn. Before returning to the ruins, Lux visits Phi, who reveals that she knows the truth of her condition. The group opens the entrance to ruins' deepest area with Krulsifer's help, and La Crush, whose memory has recovered, attacks them as Hayes appears with Phi under her control. Aerie, who also possesses a horn, allows Phi to regain control of herself and breaks Hayes' horn in the process, but the Ragnarok is revived. Despite their best efforts, the group is overwhelmed until Lux unleashes Bahamut's full power and defeats the Ragnarok. Fugel convinces Hayes to retreat and La Crush loses consciousness. As Lux recovers, he is assured by Phi that she can resist the horn and thanks him for saving her. Everyone celebrates Lux's recovery after returning home. Relai was berated for her act of investigating the ruins but explains that she got off lightly due to the kingdom's foundation festival taking place soon. Forced into a corner, Lux divides his time between the girls, starting with Aerie, who explains that a drag ride tournament will take place during the festival. She also warns him that the Empire's assassin Blade, the strongest drag knight, has escaped from prison and that Lux is their target as he destroyed the Empire. Later, Lux is taken by the Triad to Krulsifer for his next one, which is a social gathering. After a dance, they step out into a balcony where Krulsifer kisses Lux again and reveals that they are monitoring them. Lux is then taken to Phi, spending their date in a church where he rests on her lap while she once again thanks him for saving her, while Relai happily watches them with the Triad nearby. As Lux returns to the school, he met by Lisha, who requests him to be her knight. The next day, Lux and Aerie are met by the aforementioned escapee, who introduces herself as Yorica Kiriheim and calls Lux her master due to a contract she made with his father years ago and is willing to do whatever he says. Shocked by this, Lux has her wait until the festival ends so that he can speak with her properly. Later that night, while Lux is bathing, Yorica joins him, causing him to scream in surprise, and they are discovered by the Triad and an angry Lisha. After bathing and calming everyone down, Lux questions Yorica about her intentions. She does not answer and instead asks Lux how long he intends to deceive everyone, as he is more than capable of destroying the new kingdom and re-establishing the Empire, but Lux replies that he does not desire to. Yorica is then attacked by the girls, but she fights back with her own divine drag ride and eventually flees, while Sonia, Ragreed and Hayes, who were the ones that freed Yorica, watch from afar. As the group is inside another ruin which they activate, Lux and Aerie are summoned by the nobles to discuss a plot by Ragreed to overthrow the new kingdom, which will take place after the drag ride tournament. Lux is ordered to act as a decoy to lure out over 100 abyss that are hiding in uninhabited villages near the kingdom, with the promise of overlooking the Rise Island incident. They also order Lux to win the upcoming tournament, and he agrees to do both, though Aerie is against this. Upon returning to the academy, Lux spots Yorica and they talk about her reasons for serving him. She explains that it is due to a promise she made with her deceased younger brother and makes clear her intention to destroy the new kingdom, but when Lux still refuses to help, Yorica declares him her enemy and leaves. During the tournament, Lux wins his match, but Krulsifer notices that he is rushing his victory unlike his normal strategy. After the match, Lux asks Aerie to relay a message to everyone should he not return for the group battle tournament. Later, Lisha's own match begins and things proceed smoothly until Yorica manipulates Lisha's drag ride and makes it attack the audience. Lisha is then imprisoned and her drag ride is confiscated. Meanwhile, Lux discovers Sonia, who unleashes the abyss, which he then lures to the kingdom's soldiers who destroy them. Keeping her promise to Lux, Aerie reveals the operation to the girls, who decide to try and find Yorica and rescue Lisha. As Lux is resting, the insurgents, led by Ragreed, attack and kill the remaining soldiers while the main force retreats. He engages Ragreed as he reveals that a giant stone golem, piloted by Hayes, is approaching the capital, and Lux is forced to use Bahamut despite knowing that he can only use it for 12 minutes. Lux continues to battle Ragreed, who severs Bahamut's arm only to learn that it was actually a wyvern. He quickly defeats him and heads for the capital. Meanwhile, Lisha is visited by Sonia, who derides her and has one of her soldiers strip Lisha down, but Lux arrives in time to stop them. Hayes orders the new kingdom to surrender or die, but is attacked and temporarily subdued by Lux, Lisha, Krulsifer and Phi. Lux asks the latter two to destroy the remaining abyss and insurgents while he and Lisha destroys the giant. They are then met by Hayes in her own divine drag ride, who splits the city in two with a single attack. Meanwhile, Celis confronts Sonia, who was threatening the nobles. While Lux looks for a way inside the giant, Lisha fights Hayes alone but is clearly outmatched. As he finds an entrance, he is confronted by Yorika, who finally tells him the full story, that she was a princess while her twin brother was the young ruler of their kingdom, in exchange for Yorika's cooperation with the Empire. Her brother would be spared, but while she was away, her brother was killed by the nobles of their kingdom as a peace offering. Yorika then kills the nobles in revenge but decides to honor her contract to the Empire, believing it was her fate. They continue to battle and Lux eventually wins and explains that he wished to change the country for the better but he failed. In order for him to accomplish this, he had to destroy the Empire first and rebuild it from the ground up, thus making Yorika understand that everything Lux had done was for the Empire. Celeste defeats Sonia, but the giant recovers and prepares to attack the capital, but Yorika, who decided to serve Lux again, betrays Hayes and destroys the giant's controls at the last second. Infuriated, Hayes tries to destroy the capital alone but is finally defeated by Lux. At the end of the festival, Lisha makes her speech and announces Lux as her knight to the public, who give their approval. During the party, Lux sees Fugel holding what appears to be Bahamut's sword device, then quietly walks away. Lux is then greeted by the girls, including Yorika, who openly flirts with him, and an angry Lisha demands that Lux declares which girl he loves, as all of them surrounds him. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and check out the link in the description if you want to support me. It would be much appreciated.